Yeah, Juan, today's video. Why is Evander Holyfield really fighting again? Does he really need the money? We'll answer those questions after the break. So while you're here, go ahead and like, share, and subscribe to the channel, and let's get to it. So we know former heavyweight champion Evander Holyfield is taking on Vitor Belfort this weekend, this Saturday, September 11th, in a professional boxing match. Now, Evander Holyfield is 58 years old. So the question comes up: why is he fighting again? Does he really need the money? Let's take a look at the press conference, or excuse me, the open training session that Evander Holyfield put on here. If it wasn't so sad, this would be funny. Evander Holyfield was the best heavyweight of his era, and I know, and I'm a Mike Tyson fan. I always thought Mike Tyson was a better fighter, but we have to be honest here in terms of boxing. Evander Holyfield, he beat or he fought everybody during that era, and he he beat Mike Tyson twice. Obviously, we could talk about the steroid use, we could talk about the headbutting, but it was never proven that he took steroids. It was never proven that excuse me, it was never proven that he took steroids, and he never got disqualified for headbutting. So the only thing we can say about the steroid use is he allegedly took those, but nonetheless, he went head to head with Mike Tyson and won. Right? Mike Tyson lost the biggest fights, um, the ones of his career that he should have won, which he had to beat Holyfield to solidify his legacy. And yes, he was on his way out when he fought Lennox Lewis, but nonetheless, he still lost that fight. Evander Holyfield fought Riddick Bowe, beat him, Michael Moore, Lennox Lewis, George Foreman. Uh, I mean, everybody in that era he fought. He fought him at two or three times. He beat him at least once or twice. If not, he had draws with them, and he, without doubt, he's the greatest light heavyweight ever. But let's get into what's going on here. I could digress and talk about boxing all day, but let's talk about why is he fighting again? So we saw the training video there. He looks very slow, and Holyfield had very quick hands. And for those, for some people might say, well, it's just training, or he's just doing a little light sparring for the cameras. You're selling the fight. If you once you let the press in, this is this is to sell this fight. So it doesn't really sell if you are very slow with your punches. It looks like he has to think twice about what he wants to do, and he's taken a lot of punishment over his career. Um, so it begs the question: why is he really fighting again? So taking a look at just doing some research on Evander Holyfield, it's estimated that he earned from anywhere from 200 million to 400 million dollars, and that was just his purse take, from the fights that he made. Obviously, he generated well over $1 billion during his fight career, and but now it's saying that he's only worth $1 million. We know quite some time ago, he sold the house, or he let it foreclose, the mansion that he had in Atlanta, and I think the rapper Rick Ross has purchased that and another 70 acres of land next to it, or something to that effect. But celebrity net worth, everywhere you look on the internet, it's saying that Holyfield is worth $1 million. Now, brothers, this is a very good example of having sexual and financial discipline. So obviously, the sexual discipline leads to the financial discipline. Evander Holyfield has 12 children by 7 or 8 different women, and obviously, child support is going to be a very large expense for him. And as disciplined as he was to become the 4-time heavyweight world champion, he wasn't sexually disciplined enough to not have all these children by so many different women. and that's going to cost you in the long run. Whether you're Holyfield who made $200 million, or if you are the average guy, it's going to cost you. Having children by multiple different women is sexually irresponsible. It's also financially irresponsible because if you're giving up two, three, $400 per child, per woman and what so have you, at the end of the day, how can an average person live on that? And we see that obviously Holyfield is worth, at the time when he was having all these kids, the majority of them, I think the youngest is 17. He was in his heyday, so he was easily worth 100 million or more dollars. He did not value himself. There's only one Evander Holyfield, but the women that he had children with, he could find 100 of those at any point in time. But he didn't value his own seed to protect his seed, that he just gave it away willy nilly to women that he could replace in a heartbeat. And they might be some great women. They might have been some doctors or lawyers like Mike Tyson. He had a lot of women that were doctors, lawyers, actresses, and so forth, supermodels, what have you. But nonetheless, in comparison, they aren't as valuable as a person as Mike Tyson or Evander Holyfield. Like I said, easily Evander Holyfield generated $1 billion. Not one of the women that he was with or got pregnant and had children with could generate that amount of income or is worth that amount of money to the economy or to any environment or to any financial institution. So and also along with that, brothers, this is a very cautionary tale in terms of we can learn a lot from these types of things. As much as he learned the skills of boxing, managing money is a skill. We have to become financially literate. It doesn't matter how much money you're making. It's never too early to learn the things that we're not taught in school. Yes, they do not teach you how to manage your finances. They do not teach you financial literacy in schools. It is okay. This is 2021. There's YouTube everywhere. We can learn these things that we did not learn in school everywhere. And to totally trust an accountant with your money is setting yourself up for failure. So if you have to, I know a brother that said one thing that was very smart. He said, not only do the women that he messed with have to be fine, but they have to have an MBA from some top school. He doesn't just mess with anyone. And he said the reason why, she has to bring some type of value other than her body and what she could do sexually. But if she has an MBA, she can help me manage my business, or she can look over my business, or I can get game from her from a business standpoint, or run certain things by her. So in this same case with Holyfield, if the women were just pretty faces and fat butts and so forth, that's all well and good, but you know what what could they help you do? Could they have helped you manage your money, especially when he was married? Um, you marry a businesswoman, a woman who is a CEO or something. I mean, and these guys, obviously, Mike Tyson or Evander Holyfield could have pulled some CEO that's, you know, 40, unmarried, what have you. Hey, you know what? Help me run my business. Not necessarily like Mike Tyson did with Robin Givens, and they were trying to rob him blind, but you can vet women and get someone on your team that can actually help you manage your finances. So final thoughts. I do believe Evander Holyfield is fighting for money. Like I said, it's various places are saying that he's only worth $1 million, and Triller is paying these guys. If they can have Donald Trump and his son host or be a commentator on this fight, if they can, they're paying money. They have some serious money. Someone with money is really backing these guys, And speaking of Donald Trump, it's funny. This guy is too funny. He was asked in the I guess one of the last press conferences he phoned in, and he was asked, if he could fight anybody, who would he fight? And he said, "Oh, I'm leaving." He's smart enough to say, "I'm leaving all professional boxers alone. Like, I'm not fighting any of those guys." But then, on cue and on script, Donald Trump says, "I'd fight Joe Biden. I'd take him out." And I'm crying listening to this. I was like, this guy is funny. So this is going to be entertaining, at least commentary. I don't know how much of an entertaining fight it's going to be. Obviously, I'm going to watch it. I like boxing. So, hopefully no one gets hurt in here, especially Holyfield. I'd hate to see him go out like that as another brother. But sexual discipline, financial discipline, and he possibly wouldn't be in this situation. And much respect to the brother, and I hope everything goes well. Wassalam, ikhwan.